What is going on? My name is Daniel, and today we're going over 20 reasons to pick up the M50 in 2020. Stick with us. So the M50, despite it being kind of a forgotten lens category now of Canon, it is still a wonderful platform for people that are looking to start photography. They're the dads or moms of the family that are going on a vacation and want a really nice camera that doesn't cost over $1,000. And anybody who's just trying to create content easily and is new to cameras and, in other words, just creating any type of content for the internet, this is that camera. And for my next point, I was going to shoot this entire video on the ESO-R, but my arm is already getting tired of shooting on and holding it out for all of this vlogging type setup. So that's another great thing that this M50 has going for it. It is super light. For comparison, the M50 body weighs half as much as the lens I have mounted on this ESO-R right now. It is a very lightweight and solid compacted camera. It is a little bit plasticky in comparison to a higher end camera, but that's also coming in at the $500 mark is what you're going to be expecting for most cameras right there. As far as ergonomics go for the M50, it has a fully articulating screen in the back. You have a viewfinder that's attached. It also comes with a small flash in the front. It comes with a hot shoot to attach a flash at a later date if you so desire. The kit lens is perfectly fine for any new beginner. It folds into itself and comes out with this little release trigger on the side. It is a 15 to 45, and this is pretty much hasn't left the camera since I have purchased it. It is all I need for all my needs, and if I need something that has more bokeh or background blur, 22mm f2 is perfect for that. It fits in the hand perfectly, and even though it is a very small camera, I never feel like it's going to fall out of my hand. So the M50 does come with 4K, but it's almost entirely unusable because you don't have dual pixel and it's super cropped in. Camera sensor in there, so it's already small, and then when you crop it in even further, it just becomes completely unusable. You will really have to think about how you're going to shoot in 4K if that's your plan. You're going to need some very wide angle lenses and possibly a speed booster, which I don't even think they make for this. It's absolutely beautiful behind us. Take a look at this right there and here in Helsinki, right? But you will be able to use the 4K for things like B-roll of items and anything like that. You can get a much higher quality for, you know, specific shots. That's what I do with the R anyways. I don't go and do 4K for everything. I do 1080p, and then if I have a specific shot that I want to look really good, that's when I'll crank it up to 4K, and it takes a lot of memory space anyways. Yeah. So since the camera is so small, it also has the problem of coming with really small batteries, and you can expect about an hour and a half worth of shooting video on this camera, and then also about 400 photos. So I mean, that's pretty much as I'll do in one day's worth of shooting. But if you buy a second battery, that'll push you out to pretty much half of 8 hours, I guess, almost half of 8 hours, which is pretty much a work day. So it does have pretty good battery life for how incredibly small the batteries are. My eyes are being stabbed by the light right now. So the M50's video capabilities it can shoot in 30 frames a second, 24, or I guess it's 23.89, and 60 frames a second. However, 4K will be limited to a max of 30 frames a second. As well, this camera will run dual pixel and face detection, which is what's going on right now, where it's always on my face. Of course, it's also cranked up to f16 right now, so it's pretty much focused on everything because it was so bright. Now we can drop it back. As well, with this camera, you're going to be able to shoot in 120, nope, it's totally overexposed again. As well, with this camera, you're going to be able to shoot in, I'm going to go towards the shade. As well, you're going to be able to shoot 120 frames a second, but it's going to be in 720p, so you're going to have a substantial loss in quality for those extra frames. But you're going to be able to, in certain situations, I usually find if I shoot in 120 and just put some type of filter look on it, it's hard to tell the difference sometimes. There's my lovely assistant. She's carrying my book today. And the M50 isn't just a video platform. You're able to take tons of good photos with it. It's actually a really good sensor. It's a 24.3 megapixel sensor, which is actually more than 5D Mark III had in it. Of course, it is a little bit different because it is a crop sensor. And once again, with those on both sides, you're actually getting the Canon colors with it. So you get the wonderful color science that Canon has figured out. And pretty much everything looks natural. I shot with a Sony the other week, and I really found the skin tones to not be quite up to what I thought they should have been for how expensive the camera was. So some more of the features that you're going to get, you're going to be able to use a hot shoot, so you're going to be able to attach a flash to this. However, when you do put the flash on, it'll turn itself off every single time, so you have to go into the settings and adjust that to allow you to fire the flash. So as well, you're going to be able to use an external flash with this, so you're going to be able to go in and do like more event type stuff, because it has a hot shoot on top that you're able to use. As well, you're able to get a lot better photography bursts for action. So if you're at your soccer game or wrestling match or whatever you have it, so you're gonna be able to take 10 picture bursts, whereas like the ESO-R, which is almost, this entire setup is almost 3,000 euros, will only get about 4 to 5. So it actually outperforms the R in that manner. So in total, most of the content on my channel has been shot with the M50, and I do most of my photography work with the ESO-R. I absolutely love this camera. It does its job, and it's super easy to use and switch it in and out of different settings. And overall, I've been pretty much happy with the performance that this camera has given me. It's probably a better second-hand camera than it is to buy off the shelf, but as far as being something for, you know, somebody who just wants a camera that will work and work well every time, that is this camera. As far as the camera world, Canon is pretty much the Mac of everything. They do their job and they do them well, and they are within their ecosystem pretty much perfect in there. But if you're looking to eke the most out of a camera, this camera is probably not for you. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of it down below, and thank you for watching.